In this question, we get a longish prompt and also the word except in the question stem. Except questions generally require close evaluation of the answer choices. So this will be a question, like many GMAT questions, on which going slowly and thoroughly at first will help us ultimately finish swiftly. Rushing will not pay off. By the way, in case you ever wondered why the except and other words on the test are in all capital letters, there is no special meaning to the capitalization. The test makers are just trying to help you out in reading the question correctly. Anyway, when we dig into the prompt, we see that the word clearly indicates that the conclusion is in the first sentence. The conclusion is that tablet reading is supplanting book reading. It's not a great argument, though. One piece of evidence here is the proportion of tablet ownership, and the other is a prior proportion of folks currently reading a book. The two proportions are not connected in any way by the argument. Connecting them would be the clearest way to strengthen it, showing that people move from one category to the other. It would also be nice to know that the proportion of book readers has decreased. It would also be nice to know that people are using their tablets for reading, not for other purposes, or just letting them collect dust. Okay, on to the answer choices. In A, decades past sounds like it might be out of scope, but on the other hand, it's used in the conclusion. So A might be okay, and therefore might not be our answer. B raises a good point. We could have coincidence without causation. So B is useful to know, and is therefore not our answer. It's not our except. C might sound random at first, but when we reflect that it somewhat matches one of our predictions, maybe tablet reading isn't really taking away from book reading, then it seems more valid. Possibly tablet reading might be leading to more reading overall. So C appears valid and therefore is probably not our answer. D is certainly important and concerns sample representativeness, which pops up with some regularity on the GMAT. Therefore, it's probably valid and is probably not our answer. We read E and almost think we've made an error because E too might sound right. It was one of our predictions. Are people actually reading on tablets? But E has a defect. It mentions cell phones, not tablets. Reading on cell phones is relevant to reading, but it's not relevant, as presented at least, to the question of whether tablet reading is supplanting book reading. Therefore, the correct answer is E.